welcome to Conti and Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The first time they go offense, they take Jordan Love? They take Jordan Love!
Listen, Matisse Thybulle will lock up CP3.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul, baby. Right, Will?
Nope, I totally disagree. Look. There we go. Welcome back to Conti and Nick, everyone. I'm Will Nicholson. As always, I have with me Gino Conti. And, Gino, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. How are you?
Doing all right. I guess before we kick the episode off, a little bit of an announcement. I'm not gonna leak too much yet until it actually happens. But Gino and I are getting his ass kicked. That too. But we are upgrading when I mean upgrading, I mean like super upgrading.
Big time. I'm on my way.
Big time.
Making it. What up, baby?
Next week, Conti and Nick is going to be filmed in an actual studio in Marshfield, and we're going to. Just getting a big upgrade overall, and me and Gino are both going to be on video, which is something that's going to be,
And there will not be laggy and glitchy.
Exactly. We're actually going to be videoed in the same room with A-grade cameras. So
we'll be sitting in the studio just trying to get to you.
Gino's been listening to too much alternative rock before the episode.
That is Schoolboy Q, and that is the farthest thing from alternative rock.
I love alternative rock. But we're here today to talk about the NBA draft. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little busy these past couple of days. I know some of the prospects and I know the rumors, so I'm kind of gonna be going off of that. But I know Gino's coming here packed with notes, so Gino, I want to kind of compare, not only my mock draft, but also I pulled up a CBS mock draft that I want to kind of take a look at too while we go through and do this. And man, it is going to be so good next week to just focus on the podcast.
I know, this is
and
like
not have to
this is
set
like
up
the end of an era, man.
It really is. It's probably the last one that's going to be filmed in the Nicholson basement for a while.
I know,
but it's for the best. It definitely is for the best.
We're in a better place now.
we are in a better place now. So I guess we'll just
real quick.
Okay.
Dude, once again, this is like another coming of full circle thing, man. Because we said this with the NFL draft, and now we're doing our second NBA draft too. I mean, isn't that nuts, bro? It's
been crazy. Yeah, it's full circle. I mean, this is the second one we're going to do. My mock draft last year was hot garbage. It was so bad. My first 3 picks were right, and then I didn't get another one right.
Hold on, just so you know, the one thing I am happy about. Last year, I predicted that Moses Moody would slip in the draft.
And he did. Yeah, that was crazy.
That one I was actually very
I had him going
about.
at 6 or something.
Yeah, and I have another one that's probably going to slip, which I'm going to be very happy about as well.
I like it. I feel like I know who it is, low-key.
Start us off, Will.
All right, so number 1 overall.
Okay, I don't think I asked.
All right, number 1, the Orlando Magic won the draft lottery. And a lot of people have them going Jabari Smith here. I actually have them going Chet Holmgren here. And there's a couple of reasons. I think, Jabari, while it probably is the more polished scorer and has done better in college, I like Chet. People are really, low on him, which I was surprised at. They think he's going to bust, and they think he's too skinny. And I'm not following for the Kevin Durant smokescreen again, where we see a guy who's a talented scorer at this young. And we don't think he's going to be able to perform. People think he's going to struggle at the center position. I think he could be a pretty good modern center, and maybe they might even move him to power forward in some of the lineups. But also, a thing that's going very underrated is that Jalen Suggs and Chet Holmgren played together when they were younger. They're very good friends. They both went to Gonzaga, and I believe they played together in high school and in AAU. They've been talking about reuniting for a while now, and I think this would be a nice little 1-2 duo. They won in AAU, they won in high school. Obviously, this is the NBA, but they were both talented enough to make it this far. So I think the Magic go Chet Holmgren here at number 1.
All right, so I'm going to do the sensible thing and pick... I'm just joking. Listen, after Will got Derek Stingley right, which was the biggest reach I've ever seen both in Conti and Nick and NFL history, maybe besides Darius Hayward Bay. All right? All right, so anything's possible, I guess. So I'm just joking, Will. But I'm going to take Jabari Smith Now, usually, listen, I do like to think a little differently. I mean, you should know by now, this is episode 56.
Of course.
I'll definitely try to come up with my own twist on takes that a lot of people say, or kind of go against it completely. But listen, for the most part, with number 1 overall picks, I do try to pick, the sensible thing. And I do think that Jabari Smith definitely has the potential to be the best player in this draft. I mean, listen, this guy's 6'10" and he's athletic. He has fluid motion and a very soft touch. For a 6'10" guy, that's rare. He's athletic and he's a good perimeter defender. He moves his feet well, and he's somebody who really and truly can get active on that side of the floor, and not only that, but make an impact. Now, think about this. This man, I understand, look, I'm not comparing them. I'm not saying it is going to happen. I'm not, believe me, please. He's drawing Kevin Durant comparisons. Just because of the body type and the style of play. Yeah. Okay, listen now, if I'm not saying he's going to pan out to be Kevin Durant, please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But listen, if you have a guy who plays half of as good as Kevin Durant plays, you got a pretty goddamn good player on your hands. And in my opinion, you got to take Jabari Smith. Listen, and think about it. You got Cole Anthony, who really came along last year. Jalen Suggs, who showed some flashes last year, and he can be an impact player. And if you add Jabari Smith to that mix, you have the 1 guard, you have the 2 guard, and you have the power forward, or maybe even a small forward if you want to go really big. You have all those set up. I mean, to me, yes, Chet Holmgren, yes, he has potential.
He does.
Okay, but to me, if you have a guy who has Kevin Durant traits, who has this body size, like I said earlier, to me, you got to take him, and I think he's a much better fit to this offense, and I think definitely that big 3 could truly be something. Because Cole Anthony, I'm really high on.
Yeah, I loved Cole Anthony. I wanted him to go to the Celtics actually originally instead of who did we end up taking?
Naismith,
it was Naismith. So we'll jump to the Thunder really quick. I mean, you summed it up perfectly. Jabari Smith, athletic, shot I think translates to the league, and I have him going number 2 here to the Thunder. Even though there are rumors that the Thunder are really really interested in Jaden Ivey, I still think you take the guy who a lot of people are saying should go number 1 overall. I mean, you pretty much covered Jabari Smith perfectly. So for number 2, I want to know what you have going here. Do you have them actually going with Jaden Ivey, or do you have them taking Chet for your mock draft here?
Neither.
Really?
Paolo Banchero.
Oh my God! He strikes again!
Well, listen. I mean, look. We're looking at the CBS one. You said we'd be comparing.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to go from. He's going to be in the 3rd pick in CBS. So I'm making him right too. I mean, that's not that much.
No, it's not. But it's just the most Conti thing ever. It's oh well, do they for Conti's draft? Do they go Chet? Because he's there. They're infatuated with Jaden Ivey. Do they take him? And Conti goes no. Paulo.
So listen, Paolo Banchero. When you look at him, he was coming out of Duke, power forward, small forward, whatever. I mean, it's positionless basketball now.
It really is.
But look, he's the most ready prospect. In terms of Mac Jones, he's like the Mac Jones of this draft. You know what I'm talking about? You could put him on an NBA floor right now, in an NBA game right now, and he would make an impact. Look, he attacks smaller defenders, which, in my opinion, is actually extremely important because today, what do you see most of the time? You see a power forward or a center get caught on the point guard, and what do? They either kick it out or they take the 3.
Yep.
Okay, that's becoming a lost art to attack smaller defenders when you have a mismatch. He can beat you in a variety of ways. He's a solid shooter, a great playmaker, and you know what? With Josh Giddey, who was that perfect point forward and really made a much bigger impact than we expected last year, Paolo Banchero and Josh Giddey could be a really, really good 1-2 punch in OKC. Those could be the 2 that you really build your team around as you kind of go through this rebuilding prospects with what it seems to be a million first-round picks.
Oh, yeah.
So I really do think that Paolo Banchero is going to make a big impact in this league. Somebody who really and truly is going to be a player for years to come. And him and Josh Giddey could be a really good duo in this league.
I don't mind that fit. I think that actually fits pretty well. I don't think that Paolo goes that high though. I have him going right now at number 3 to move on to the Houston Rockets. I mean, you covered him pretty much perfectly. Athletic forward, and I think he fits well with this whole Rocket system because if you're the Rockets, I don't think you need a guard right now. You have Kevin Porter Jr., you have Jalen Green, kind of covered that, and they just traded Christian Wood too. So this is a pretty good replacement. They might move him to center. But, yeah, I mean, what do you have the Rockets going if Paolo isn't there?
So, the Houston Rockets, number 3 overall, I have them taking Jaden Ivey.
Okay.
Jaden Ivey, shooting guard out of Purdue. Now, listen, when you look at this guy, he's drawing Russell Westbrook comparison. And not Lakers Russell Westbrook, not Rockets Russell Westbrook,
Yes.
not Wizards Russell Westbrook, like prime OKC Thunder MVP Russell Westbrook. Okay, this man, when you look at him, this guy explodes to the basket. This guy craves going to the hoop. This guy craves, as a shooting guard no less, taking it to the hole and making a big physical impact. And you know, I wouldn't say that's a lost art from guards nowadays, but somebody who is so aggressive. Somebody who is so willing to do it, making that their primary function and option of their game. You don't see that too often. And you know what? Yes, I do kind of agree with you, Will, that it would be somewhat of a clogged front court. Excuse me. In Houston, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it. You could put, because Kevin Porter Jr., he really and truly can play the 1 through 3. He really and truly could.
Yeah.
So think about it. You put him at your, him at your point. You could put Ivy at the shooting guard, and then you could put Jalen Green at the small forward. Like, really and truly, that is a possibility. That is something that you can do. And you know what? A lot of people kind of criticize his shooting, his 3-point, 35.8%, so essentially 36.
Yeah.
That's not half bad. And you know what? It'll really work in his benefit in the NBA, because everyone's going to look at his film. Everyone's going to know what his game plan is, and they're going to back off. And when they back off, what's wide open? The 3.
True.
So, you know, I think that his shot is going to translate a little bit better than people think it will to the NBA level. And
His first year, he should be a spot-up guy, though, for sure. Because
maybe
those athletic shooters are hard to, develop in their first year in the league.
and you know what? Do you want to know why more than anything I took him over Chet?
Yes.
He's going to be a culture setter in Houston. Listen, Jalen Green is a great talent.
You don't have Chet yet. That's crazy.
Kevin Porter Jr. is a great talent. Jaden Ivey gives the attitude to that team. Jalen Ivey gives your team an identity. He gives your team like that it factor. He gives that team like the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the aggression, like that, the label of like, I'm going to punch you in the mouth and there's nothing you can do about it. I think if you want a culture setter in Houston, you take Jaden Ivey.
I like it. This happens a lot in mock drafts where Gino takes guys a little bit earlier. So at number 4, I have the man himself, Jaden Ivey, who I guess I called Ivory, which I caught myself. Sorry for that.
I'm sure he's never heard it before.
Yeah, right. Jaden Ivey. Yeah, I mean, this kid's super athletic. Like you said, I do worry a little bit about the 3-pointer, but the athletic guards, I'm always infatuated with. I love the athletic guards. I was really high on Jalen Green last draft, and I'm pretty high on Jaden Ivey here too. So his 3-pointer does concern me a little bit because while Jalen Green, we had questions about his shot selection last year, he was still making shots, right? And he was in the G League, which I think actually did him a couple more favors than if he was in college. But I do question the 3-point shooting. I think a lot of his first year, like I said, is going to have to be, I have him going to the Kings, and I think it's going to have to be a lot of him playing off of De'Aaron Fox and kind of finding his own shot, but also being able to be a spot-up shooter and let Fox create a lot of the shots there. And it's Sacramento, so, they don't have anything else going on. So
did you hear that Jaden Ivey's agent specifically told the Kings that he doesn't want to go there?
I actually did not know that.
So that's the reason why I'm kind of not picking him. I mean, obviously, it doesn't really matter what he says. I mean, if he's there and the Kings want him, the Kings are going to take him.
And the Kings aren't short of doing stuff like that. They will take him. They really don't care.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? As any franchise should.
Yes.
I'm not saying that, oh my God, like Jaden Ivey, I'm going to feel bad for him if he gets taken by Sacramento. But it's been like reported that he does not want to go to the Kings.
Yes.
Like he did not work out with the Kings, and it's something that he just would not desire because you know what? They do have that reputation of just not being a very player-friendly organization.
Yeah, I can't blame him either.
Yeah, so what do you think that? Do you disagree that even if defenders back off of him, like those wide open threes, he won't be able to capitalize on?
Oh no, I totally think he'd be able to capitalize on those. But it's the Jalen Green thing that I said from last year, where we were worried about his shot selection, and we chalked it up to he'll figure it out when he gets to the NBA. It's Jaden Ivey. We're not really concerned as much about his shot selection. It's can he make threes? Which I think, he gets there and he develops, and I think he should be able to hit the wide open one.
Yeah, because 36% ain't bad.
No, it's not bad at all, but it's just more of, like I said, these athletic guards struggle shooting in their first year when they have to have the ball in their hands and they're not on a great team. So that's what I worry about of him. Too many of the step back contested type of shots. And I hope that he's able to let De'Aaron kind of create a lot of shots for him, which I think, this would be a really good backcourt, if it all works out like that. But no, I think he should be able to hit those open threes. He's in the NBA, so he should be able to, right?
Absolutely, he should be able to. So that's who you have at 4. Okay,
yes.
So I guess it's my turn now.
Right.
Everybody calm your bleeps, okay? I have Chet going to the Sacramento Kings at number 4, okay? I definitely do believe that Chet Holmgren is somebody who should be taken within the very, very lowest, the top 5. Okay, but I'm not high on him in the least bit.
I need to know why,
I'm
Gino.
not high on
I
him
need
in
to
the least
know.
bit. This guy looks like he eats half a toothpick a day.
Yeah, but so did Kevin Durant.
Huh?
So did Kevin Durant. He turned out fine.
Was Kevin Durant only a one position center? Chet can't play the power forward.
I think he could.
He can't. He is literally the definition of just a one position center.
Sure. Okay, but still.
What?
But is there... All right, so I have him going to the Magic, right?
At number 1.
At number 1, and you have him going to...
Number 4, to Sacramento.
To Sacramento. So you have him going out west, which I think would even make more sense for him. Because are there really that many dominant centers out there out west right now?
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah,
two-time reigning
sure.
MVP.
Yes, Jokic. Who else, though? That's
off
really...
the top of my head.
Like Rudy, okay, I guess.
Anthony Davis.
But he's more of he plays a 4.
He can. So Anthony Davis, when I think about it. So yes, there are some. So just sorry, go on and give me a minute.
So my whole point of that is I think out west would actually be better for him playing the center position. As far as there's not a whole lot of there's not the Joel Embiids, there's not the Giannis's, there's not the the big time centers. I feel like when you're in the East, you need a big, right? If you're in the East, you need your Robert Williams. You need your guys to stop people like that. You have your Bams. You have people like that. Out West, the Warriors just won a championship with Kayvon Looney at the center. You know what I mean? Which, don't get me wrong, solid player, but he's not, even on the level of, Bam and all these other guys like that. And a lot of the good teams out West, look at what the Dallas Mavericks are doing right now when they go for Christian Wood at their center. Christian Wood's
very good.
He's good, but he's not some crazy, game-changing center.
I think he can be an all-star.
Sure,
yeah.
But still, you don't need the dominant center the way the league is trending out West right now. East, it's more of they have the Embiids, the Giannis's, the Bams, all stuff like that. So I think it makes more sense for him out West. So, if he goes out West, do you still have concern about him playing that 4?
He can't play the 4. He's literally...
Or the 5, sorry.
No, you're good. He's a center. Yeah. That man is literally nothing but a center. And listen, he can't really shoot at all. All right, he is skinny. He has a really bad frame. Yeah, and listen, I understand the KD comparisons, but Kevin Durant had the one thing, and it was the athleticism.
Sure.
Listen, he's a good defender. He really is. But listen, what's going to happen when he gets backed down by some people? And it doesn't matter if it's primarily in the West. They're going to face people from the East. What's going to happen? Dude, in college, that guy's getting bodied. In college, he's getting bodied. What's going to happen when he goes up against the grown men of the league? Listen, at the very least, I think he'll be a good defender in the NBA. But in my opinion, we gotta relax, because the game is veering away from people like Chet Holmgren. I understand the upside, but this guy, he provides stuff on offense, but it's no more than just dunks. You know what I mean? It's no more than just dunks and some easy layups. He doesn't have the strength to do it. He does not have the strength. I don't understand. That to me, this reminds me of Jahlil Okafor. But Jahlil Okafor had size.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what Jahlil Okafor. At least if you put Jahlil Okafor in the NBA right now, listen, technically he is, but if you put him on a roster, he at least will be able to get you some buckets in the paint. He'll at least be able to hold his own in terms of strength, going up body for body against players in the league. He's always been capable of it, but his limitations, make him unable to be on a modern day roster. How do we not see the same with Chet Holmgren, especially when he's weak? Listen, he's a weak player.
But can he not get in the weight room?
Of course he can.
Yeah.
Of course he can.
I think he can adjust. See, I agree with you. There's concerns about Chet, but I think he adjusts. I think that he's an NBA player. I feel like he knows that he's supposed to be here, and he needs to, work hard to keep his skill set. He knows that he's not going to be, the strongest guy out there. But what he does know is he has a nice shot. Well, it has been inconsistent at times. I don't know. I think he's a great prospect. I mean, I get the concerns, but my whole thing is I think that he can adjust to the league.
I mean, if he hits the weight room, though, I don't know. It's like the game is just veering away from players like him.
Yeah.
That's my concern. Like, the game no longer really caters.
And every time we say that, that's the type of player that comes in and tears it up.
Chiloloka for, man.
Well, yeah.
I mean, like, how many Andre Drummonds do you see in the league still?
That's a good point, yeah.
You know, how many Andre Drummonds do you see? I mean, listen, Dwight Howard, yeah, good player. He's towards the end, but how many players like Dwight Howard do you see in the league still?
See Rob Williams.
Rob Williams, but listen, he's like more the modern day DeAndre Jordan.
Sure.
He can play the 4 and he's extremely athletic. I mean, Dwight Howard was in his prime, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you have to be extremely athletic. You need to be able to run that pick and roll. Like, there's very few little just sit down in the paint those trees anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, I
mean, Taco Fall didn't work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Chet, I wish him nothing but the best, but...
Chet, I have faith in you. I have faith in when you win Rookie of the Year, I'll come on this podcast.
If it means anything, Will got hyping you.
Exactly.
I'm just joking. So, go ahead to number 5.
You are my Derek Stingley, Chet. I believe in you.
I'm not calling him ridiculous for being picked. I'm saying he's going to suck.
That's fair. That's fair. So, we'll jump to number 5 here with the Pistons. Conti, I have a little bit of a reach here.
Okay.
At number 5, I have the Pistons taking Keegan Murphy, power forward. And look, there's a lot of questions about him that are going down right now. People are saying that his athleticism, his defense, as we're looking at this the CBS mock draft that we're looking at right now. One thing that he's very good at, he's a great shooter. He rebounds. And I think it would be a great fit on this Pistons team. You slid him in at the 4, and maybe they start playing, or not Sadiq Bey. I'm sorry, I love Sadiq Bey. I love Sadiq Bey, but I think this adds a whole nother piece where you have that kind of stretch 4. Again, very, very good shot maker at Iowa. So I think that this kid could really change a lot of what they're doing in Detroit and maybe push them over to the edge. I mean, people are saying if this kid goes to the right system, it could be an all-star level thing. He is a phenomenal shooter at the 4 position. We're looking at stats right now. He almost shot 40% from 3.
He essentially shot 40%.
Yeah,
39.8%.
He shot, so 40% from 3. A lot of questions about his athleticism and his defense, but he is still, what does it say? You're 6'8". He's 225. And I think that stuff can be taught once he goes there, where now you're a pro. Now you have to, you're going to be guarding, especially if you're going to Detroit, you're going to have to guard a lot of those big guys out east. But I think they can make it work, so give me Keegan Murphy at 5.
So, I agree with you.
Really?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah! There we go.
I agree with you, man. So here we go. This is where I have Keegan Murray going, and you know what? Like,
I said Murray. I think I said Murphy.
I'm
all over the place.
It doesn't matter.
My bad, guys.
So look at it. Keegan Murray, I mean, there aren't a lot of holes in this guy's game, okay? And you look at Keegan Murray, and you look at the roster of the Detroit Pistons, especially with the emergence of Cade Cunningham coming along through the second half of last year. You need somebody, in my opinion, because I think that Detroit is going to make a playoff run this year. I really and truly do think that they are ready to make that move, and they're ready to at least compete and maybe give a competitive series to a higher seeded team. Obviously, I don't think they're going to make some true, big special noise, but you know what I'm trying to say, okay? I think that with Cade Cunningham, I think with Sadiq Bey, I think with Marvin Bagley, who's going to have a big year, in my opinion.
He needs to get paid. It's about time.
I like Marvin Bagley, man. I mean, listen, he was in that stanky franchise, like the freaking Sacramento Kings, who didn't really like him, didn't know how to use him that well, and he played pretty well when he went to a new environment with Dwayne Casey. And I really and truly do think that you look at Keegan Murray, who is a very good, just a good overall player. He might not be the flashiest, he might not be the best, he might not make the sexy plays, but Keegan Murray makes plays.
He's a pro.
Yeah, exactly. He's a pro, and he makes plays that help towards winning basketball. And I think, in my opinion, you have a lot of young guys, and you have enough guys who have panned out, if that makes sense. Get somebody who really and truly can just make a day one impact, and like I said,
he should start day one on this team. 100%. He should
go
in there. He should hit threes, and he should do his parole there. I like it.
Yeah.
Man, this is probably the only time we're going to agree on this podcast, so I'm taking it. So while we're still on pick 5 here, The mock draft has Benedict Mathurin. Is that how you
I
say
like
it?
Benedict Mathurin.
Okay, so you don't think he'll go this high, though?
I do think that he will go relatively soon. I'm not going to spoil when. I do think that he'll go relatively soon, but again, if you're Detroit, in my opinion, you just want to get somebody who all around just does a great job in most facets of the game, and I think that's just a better overall fit because you look at Cade, then you can got Corey Joseph who can play the 2, then you got Keegan Murray there at the 3, Marvin Bagley at the 4 or the 5. I'm sorry, Sadiq Bey could really play the 3. Keegan Murray can play the 4, or somebody, you know what I mean. Marvin Bagley can play the 5. Yeah. And I think that's a pretty good starting 5.
That could be a playoff team out east.
Yeah.
Now,
so you got Cunningham, Joseph, then you got Sadiq Bey, then you got Murray, and then you got Bagley.
That's not a bad starting 5
Isaiah
at all.
Stewart is coming off your bench. Isaiah Stewart,
it's one of Gino's guys.
I like Isaiah Stewart, man. And then Killian Hayes too.
Killian Hayes is still a good player.
Killian Hayes is pretty solid. So, dude, you got a pretty solid roster up there in Detroit, man. I'm not saying the emergence is coming, but I think they got a chance to make a little bit of noise.
I like it. So we'll go to number 6 here. I actually agree with the mock draft on this. I have Dyson Daniels going number 6 here to the Indiana Pacers. He's another G League guy. Big shooting guard. 6'8", 195. A great defender. His size. He's pretty athletic. The one thing that people are saying is his shooting shot 25.5% from 3, and that's not even college. That's in the G League, so against other pros. So that's a little tough. But I think this would be a good guard to pair up with Malcolm Brogdon, who I feel like already does a lot of Dyson Daniels' weaknesses the right way, where he shoots the ball well.
Brogdon's gonna get traded.
That's a possibility too. But still, I think even if you're gonna trade him, I think this kid works with Brogdon. Or if you want to replace him with Brogdon, I think he could do that too, with less of the shooting. Yeah, sure.
With Halliburton.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think, first of all, I think Tyrese Halliburton's going to be a star.
I really like Tyrese.
I'm huge on Tyrese Halliburton, so is that what you got?
Yeah, that's what yeah, his athleticism, I mean, he's a big guard, that's a 6'8" guard. They might even move him to the 3, but he can't shoot, so it's tough.
Yeah, who knows? So I have Benedict Mathurin here. He's a shooting guard / small forward.
What?
What? out of Arizona, and listen, this guy can shoot in a variety of ways. He can hit the mid-range. He can hit the 3. He's a good shooter. He shot 37%, so I think that's definitely going to translate to the league. He's quick, and he has a quick release, which definitely helps, and that's something that shooting trainers love to shoot. Because they don't love that set shot like Al Horford has. They don't love the fast or the slow releases. They love the quick, just get it out of your hands right away. I mean, this guy, look at him. He has elite athleticism, and he doesn't shy away from contact at the rim. For somebody who can shoot, who has that 3-level scoring ability, that, in my opinion, can make you a star. When you have all 3 levels of scoring down and you are confident and competent from each 3 of those levels, I think that, in my opinion, makes you, at the very least, a very, very good offensive player. And the athleticism can always translate on the defensive side of the floor as well. And he's a decent playmaker, but in my opinion, Will, the number one thing that stands out to him, he's not afraid of the clutch moments. He's not afraid of making sure to let people know that when it really comes down to it, when all the chips are pushed into the middle of the table, that he is going to be the guy that makes that play for you, and he is not afraid, and he's going to come right at you. That's the one thing I really liked about Benedict. You pair him with Tyrese Halliburton, and don't forget you have Buddy Hield, who's a good shooter, and Miles Turner, who might or might not be on the move. I think you got yourself a hell of a young core.
I like it. I liked exactly what you said right there, too. Because, I'm going to jump to the number 7 pick right here at the Blazers. And this is where I have Benedict going. And he feels like the CJ replacement to me. Except better defensively, and he's bigger. You got a 6'6" guard in defensive versatility. Like you said, the shooting is exactly what you look for. I think he'll be a good guy to put alongside Dame. Because we always said Dame and CJ, they're not going to work because they have a small backcourt. I feel like you get a little bit of CJ ability with the shooting, maybe less of the shot creating, but definitely the shooting, and more defense and size with Benedict Mathurin here. That's a hard last name to say.
No, you're good. So, in my opinion, Benedict is going to be one of my guys. Because a couple years ago when the Cavs drafted Isaac Okoro, I'm like, I like him.
Yeah.
I like him. That kid has something that not a lot of people are seeing. Yeah. I believe he should have been taken higher because I'm a big Isaac Okoro fan. Yeah. This is my Isaac Okoro
of this year. I like it. Yeah. No, the clutch factor, I think that fits right in with Dame. The question is, does he slip this far? Because I think this kid is really, really good too. There's been talks about maybe him going at 4 or something like that. So It's tough, but I think he would fit perfectly with the Blazers if he goes that far. So yeah, at the Blazers at number 7, I have them taking Benedict.
So real quick, do you think Benedict could eventually be that player, like they said, like the CJ, like you do see, he does have some CJ in him, but do you think he can really and truly become and morph into that player that makes the Portland Trailblazers relevant again?
I think he could. I mean, the one thing with the Blazers is I mean, at least me, I always thought CJ and Dame aren't going to work. I don't like the small backcourts. I also don't think that Darius Garland and Colin Sexton can work. I don't think it works. Like, you see successful backcourts. I mean, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, even Klay Thompson and Steph. I mean, one of them has to be able to guard, right? So it's tough when you have two small guys at the position, and I never thought that for that reason, especially out west, CJ and Dame were going to work. I like Benedict here because, you know, like you said, the CJ in him, he's got better defense. He's got, he's taller, and he still has that shot-making ability. And I think the ball is going to still be in Dame's hands more with him still making plays. So, I mean, this could be the thing that gets him over the hump. Yes, I really like this kid.
Don't forget about the way that he could pair up with Anthony Simons.
Yes, exactly.
And they still have Josh Hart.
Yeah.
They have good guards.
They got shooters out there.
They got good guards. Like, I mean, say what you want about their front court, because Yusuf Nurkic is actually pretty solid, a really good all-around player, but he's always hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so say what you want, but in terms of the guards, man, Portland is still good. Portland is still really, really good, especially if they get Benedict. But, sorry, for my number 7 overall pick, this is where I have Shaedon Sharpe going. I agree with CBS here. And you know what? This kid just didn't play. Like, in Kentucky, he committed. He didn't play. So the last time legitimately we saw him play was in high school, which to me, in terms
of... whoa, we got something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is this like the biggest hot thing we've had?
It is, okay. Wait, and oh my god, this fits perfectly. The Portland Trailblazers are... Hold on. The Pistons are sending Jeremy Grant to Portland in exchange for a 2025 first-round pick via Milwaukee.
Wow.
So Jeremy Grant is officially a Blazer.
That's a good pickup, man.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe this is even more for for Benedict going there. Who knows?
Maybe, man. I mean, damn, that's a good pickup for them. Listen, Jeremy Grant is good for on any team. Like, no matter what, he's always going to be good, man. But listen, he played like an all-star these past couple of years in Detroit, and he won't get as much usage, but still his value is pretty high, man. I mean, that's a great
trade for the Blazers.
That's a good pickup. Yeah. That's a very good pickup for Portland.
And the Pistons are only getting, it looks like a 2025 first-round pick out of it, too. And probably a throw-in player in there.
Yeah, maybe some like second-round pick or whatever. Yeah. So, real quick, let me just go on my Shaedon Sharpe thing now. I mean, talk about perfect timing. Huh?
I know, right?
I mean, listen, legitimately, the last time we saw this guy play was in high school. So, this guy is the biggest question mark in this draft, even more than Chet Holmgren, in my opinion. I mean, yes, this kid has, in my opinion, the ability to be the best player in this draft. He does. But is it going to translate? Yes, we've seen high school to NBA translate before, but Shaedon Sharpe, he's just so raw. You know, he has the ability, he has the talent, he has the athleticism to do it, he has the size, but is he going to do it? You know what I mean? He's like the biggest question mark, in my opinion, in this draft. And listen, the only reason why I believe he can do it, especially with Portland, and not only, but especially with Portland specifically, is because Anthony Simons only played in the rec league. And that's what they did with Anthony Simons. He had lots of question marks. He had the risk. Portland now has built up that small reputation of being able to take these guys who have the question marks and develop them, even if they don't make an immediate impact. And I do definitely think that if he goes to Portland, you know, he's somebody who will make a big impact for them.
Sure, you totally nailed it, by the way, too. Second-round picks are getting swapped.
Yeah.
So, Gino Conti totally nailed it there. Jeremy Grant to the Blazers live on Conti. That's like the first real, trade that we've had happen here. So,
it's been episode 56, man.
I know.
What the hell?
It finally happened. But, yeah, I mean, I speaking of Sharpe, I have him going at number 8 to the Pelicans here. Like you said, kid hasn't played, right? It's been a while since he's played. His finishing ability, his playmaking ability, his shot creating, it's all there, right?
Everything is elite.
Yeah.
Everything that he can do is elite. but it's at a high school level.
Yes.
So yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. I think the Pelicans would be a good fit here. Because if you're the Pelicans, I mean, what do you have to lose, really? It feels like Zion's out the door. I mean, he's made it pretty clear that he doesn't exactly want to play there. He doesn't enjoy it. So why not take a risk on a guy like this, where it's okay? We have this kid right here. He's been elite at stuff. He hasn't played. He's been pretty good at the combine apparently. So maybe it translates. But even if this guy busts, I mean, what's the worst that happens, right? Zion leaves anyway. The player that you take here at number 8 is not going to change your franchise if Zion leaves. It's a reality. So I like that they're taking a risk.
I wouldn't say that.
Sure, but I mean, not the way that Zion, Zion, we forget, before he got injured, was a 30-point per game scorer. Physically in your face.
Did they win the championship?
They did not, but still. But if you're the Pelicans, I mean, why not take a risk on a guy like this?
They made the playoffs without him.
But here's the thing. What if this works out? Best case scenario, this works out, this kid translates. I mean, you have a dynamic duo in New Orleans now. Worst case, he doesn't pan out, Zion leaves, and then you scrap it. You're probably rebuilding again anyway.
I mean, I don't know, man. They still made the playoffs.
Sure,
they still had that. They still had that play-in time, man. Like, listen, they've proven that they're able to compete in the playoffs without Zion Williamson. They'll get a haul for Zion, undoubtedly. So I don't know, man. Like, listen, in my opinion, you got to pick very, very carefully here if you're the New Orleans Pelicans, and that's why I have them taking Jalen Duran, center out of Memphis. Okay, you look at him. Okay, he is incredibly young. He isn't going to be 19 years old until November. So, like, legitimately, this kid is going to be playing basketball at 18 years old if they play him, okay? He is younger than me and you. Yeah. Like, he is younger than you and I, and he's going to, like, we've reached that
level. A lot of these kids are, which is, like, scary.
Yeah, that's
and we can call them kids now, because we're older.
Damn you kids.
You goddamn kids.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my podcast.
This is my damn property. My grandfather built this ranch.
It is grandfather's grandfather. No, but just to jump back to the Pels really quick here, I would like this fit because if you think about it, you move this kid to the 1. He has the capabilities to play the 1. He's got the size to be a bigger guard. He's got the handles if he works out. Now, this is all in theory if he works out. You have him at the 1, you have CJ at the 2, then you have Brandon Ingram, you have Zion, and then you can run like Killian Hayes, who I think is going to be, good in the next...
Jackson Hayes.
Jackson
I
Hayes.
like Jackson Hayes. No, you're good. So this is why... Okay, so I do like it, and it could happen. It could pan out. Who knows?
Sure.
But this is why I have Jalen Duran going, and this is what... Let me pitch this to you.
Okay.
He's incredibly young, and he is great with his back to the basket. In terms of pro comparisons, he's receiving Bam Adebayo comparisons. Let's just say that Zion Williamson stays. You then have a point guard of your choosing. That's probably Devontae Graham.
Yep.
You then have CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and then Jalen Duran if he pans out to be Bam Adebayo.
It's not bad.
That is, to me, that's, I wouldn't say a deep playoff run, but that is a team that potentially, actually, you know what, could make the conference finals if they get hot at the right time.
It's possible.
I'm very high on Brandon Ingram. I'm a huge Brandon Ingram fan. Yep. He is a great pick and roll partner, Jalen Duran is. He has great movement on defense. Like I said, Bam Adebayo comparisons. But the Pelicans are in this unique position where there really isn't any need to rush.
Exactly.
They don't, listen, they've proven that they can and are capable of being able to make the playoffs, but they also still have a lot of young talent that can develop and can compete and make sure they make a big impact. But the number one thing, he needs to improve his shooting, but I wouldn't call him a bad shooter. The thing with Jalen Duran is, you look at Memphis centers, and you look at how they're brought up there. You look at Duran, and you look at James Wiseman. So obviously, so far, they've been building a reputation as being a big man school. But you look at it, what does Penny Hardaway like to do with his big men? He likes to make them a little bit more traditional. I mean, James Wiseman, he can hit the open shot, but we still have questions about his shooting. Jalen Duran, he only attempted 1 3-pointer. So what does that tell you about the system that he's in? I don't think that he's incapable. I think, but obviously since he didn't really do it, he'll have to work on it. And at 18 years old, this kid has so much room to grow. I like Jackson Hayes, but eventually he's going to want to get paid. And with some years of development, Jalen Duran could slip right in there.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't mind that fit actually. Conti always, he spices his own little touch in there to make stuff make sense. But we'll go to number 9 here with the San Antonio Spurs. I have them going with Jeremy Sochan here.
Jeremy Sochan.
Sochan, yes. So this feels like a San Antonio Spurs player. I mean, he a Baylor winner. Not exactly a shooter, but he's not lacking from there either. Pretty much 30% from three. And this feels like a guy that Pop is gonna like, a good defender. So I mean, I don't see a whole lot of holes in this kid's head, game, except that he was only a freshman, but they did win the national championship. So that's who I got going here at number 9.
Cool. So I have at pick number 9, San Antonio Spurs going with Johnny Davis, shooting guard, small forward out of Wisconsin.
Okay.
So I have Johnny Davis going here because when you look at him, he is a very good shot creator, and that's something that the San Antonio Spurs really lack. Okay, they have DeJounte Murray, who I love. Okay, they have Devin Vassell, who's very good on defense. But
they lost Derek White.
How
are they going to survive?
They survived because they get Romeo Langford, the greatest player in the history of the NBA.
All right.
But I do definitely think that Johnny Davis can actually come out and be a good player. He gets to the free throw line. This is why I say he's a Spurs player. He gets to the free throw line at an extremely high rate.
Yeah.
So this means he's not afraid to take it to the basket. Okay, he plays well in the pick and roll. The Spurs are very huge on fundamentals. They're very high on that. So that's something in terms of fundamentally he is very sound at. And he has elite defensive potential. What do the Spurs do better than anybody? They take guys who obviously might not be ready right at this very moment, but who have elite potential. They take those guys with elite potential, they let them sit for a year or two, and then they make an impact. Because DeJounte Murray was not an immediate impact player. Neither was Derek White, Devin Vassell, no, and then Lonnie Walker, who's actually turning into a pretty decent player himself. These are all guys that sat for a little bit, but had that potential to be great.
What the Spurs love to do.
Exactly. And I think that Johnny Davis, obviously he won't be the star. He won't be the impact player. He won't be the guy, especially because Keldon Johnson is the greatest player of all time as well. But I think Johnny Davis could be a key cog to the machine as the Spurs go back into relevance, and I really like that pick for them.
I like it. No, I like that. Tommy Hines will be proud because you got to take it to the basket.
I'll tell you. I took a look at Baines in the shower. He looks like all of Australia. Listen, Tommy. Tommy, rest in peace. I love you more than anything.
Yep.
But
you were a fan favorite on Conti Nich.
Unfortunately, you took an L on that one.
Yeah.
Please rest in peace. I mean, no disrespect, but on that one, Tommy,
it's tough. It is tough. So I'll go to my last pick here with the Wizards. We're
only doing 1 through 10.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention that we are doing 1 through 10. The Wizards, I have them going AJ Griffin, who is probably going to be the best small forward in this draft. Kid is a shooter, sharp shooter. He can play make, he can create his own shot. Shot 44.7, so we'll round up to 45%.
If it's 5 or above, give it a shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, a kid's a shooter. I mean, I think he would fit, right in, especially if Bradley Beal leaves. I feel like this could be a kid where he's on a bad team. You give him the ball and you say, hey, go put it in the bucket, and that's just your whole offense for the year, and he develops. So I like AJ Griffin here. I like the size, 6'6", 220. And I feel like, he is, the ideal small forward where you have, the shot creator. He's got the size. He's got everything there. So I think that he is a great, turnout. I'm reading right here, 6'11" wingspan. Kid is getting what? Kristaps Porzingis, a little bit just smaller. I don't know. Why did they say that?
It said featuring Brad. He could play 4 and 5 out attacking, featuring Bradley Beal and.
Okay, that confused me. I was like,
you're
what?
Because Kristaps obviously is on the Wizards.
All right.
With that big trade. So actually, Will, do you have anything else to say?
No shot. Really?
I do not disagree with you.
Yeah! 2 for 10, Conti.
2 for 10, baby.
We agreed on 2 for 10, my boy.
Hell yeah, baby. 20%. But anyway, so when you look at AJ Griffin, yeah, like you said, he is the sharpshooter. He is, dare I say it, the Aaron Nesmith. He is the Aaron Nesmith of this draft. And you know what? The one thing I actually do like about AJ Griffin, looking at a bit of his film, he has upside with shot creating as well. So definitely he's not a one-trick pony. He might be right away, but he can develop into something a little bit better. So like a very valuable asset more than just someone who's like there. Right there's the corner. You stand there for your whole career, and you know what? Yeah, your paycheck will be in the mail.
You're gone.
And your paycheck will be in the mail. So, he has upside with playmaking as well. So you look at him right off the bat, yes. The one thing he does do the best, and the one thing he's going to be utilized for right off the bat is his shooting. But his shot creating potential, his playmaking potential, and his position versatility, because he can play the 2, the 3, and if you want to go really small, he can actually play the 4 as well. And that's something that I really do think that that is is very valuable as we go into positionless basketball. But the thing with him is he has injury concerns.
Yeah.
He has health concerns. He has injury concerns. And that's something that, I mean, really and truly, looking at the 9 players before him, I don't know if that makes him slip all that much. Because you look at guys like AJ Griffin, like just the pure sharpshooters as of right now, this is around the time where these guys go.
Yeah.
So honestly, yes, we both have him, and CBS has him going number 10 overall. But in my opinion, when guys like him get taken around here anyways, and he has injury concerns, I might want to go with somebody else.
Sure.
I might want to go with somebody else, but
this is where like Johnny Davis could go, honestly.
Yeah, this is where the Johnny Davis, and I didn't even have. I'm sorry. Who did you have? I didn't even have Dyson Daniels going.
Yeah, Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Daniels.
You also didn't have
Jeremy Sochan.
Yeah.
Either. So I mean, listen. In my opinion, maybe you go for somebody else, but I do think that Washington has been in desperate need of shooting. They paid Davis Bertans for some reason, bringing $70 million. So if they've made it clear as to what they're looking for to pair with Bradley Beal and Kristaps, so that's why, in my opinion, they go with AJ Griffin. But hey, like we just saw a trade, so they're listen. We actually didn't include any trades in this draft day either, which is something that
a lot of people are looking to move though.
Yeah,
there's a lot of question marks in this draft, but the upside on these guys is really high. There's a lot of good players in here.
I do,
but there's a lot of like, if he pans out, which is big.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is too, like, I think that we got spoiled with the Zion year because what happened with Zion? Immediately, John Morant got taken afterwards.
Then
what
RJ.
happened then? RJ, who's obviously isn't to the star level of Zion or John Morant, is still a really good, impactful player in the league. So, I mean, we got kind of spoiled. After that, listen, you had LaMelo, who's really good. What's it called? Anthony Edwards, who I love.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Anthony Edwards fan.
I got to ask you real quick then. Have you seen the new Netflix movie Hustle?
That
Anthony Edwards is in.
I haven't seen it yet.
He is the perfect role for that movie.
Is he the role? Is he the lead role?
No,
or is it Adam Sandler?
It's Adam Sandler, and actually Juancho Hernan Gomez is the.
I heard about that.
It's actually a really good movie. I enjoyed it.
Is it one of Adam Sandler's joke movies?
No. It's actually it's his serious role, and he does a very good job.
Oh, it's a serious. Yes. So it's not like Hubie Halloween.
No, it is not like Hubie Halloween.
I honestly thought it would be like a basketball Hubie Halloween.
No, it's very good. Kyle Lowry, Chris Middleton. There's a whole bunch of NBA players that are.
So this is like a legit movie.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the whole thing with I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but the whole thing with Anthony Edwards is he's the main antagonist. He's always he's
the Aaron Gordon of Uncle Drew.
Sure. Yeah. Like you know, like 2K My Careers all have that one guy who is your rival.
Yeah.
That's like what he is, and his whole thing is
Jackson Ellis.
Yes, he's Jackson Ellis, and his whole thing is to talk shit in the whole movie. It is so funny. He does a great job at it. He did phenomenal. So
screw you, Jackson Ellis.
love Anthony Edwards in this movie.
But so Will, really quickly before we kind of wrap up, because I know we're winding down. You look at some of these players, and I'm not going to do a whole underrated series like I did with football, but who do you think, in your opinion, is one guy who really could surprise some people? Like, who do you think really and truly could make an impact that not a lot of people are looking at him?
Like I said, I've been really high on both Murray and Benedict. I think those guys could be really good. I actually like that you had Johnny Davis going this high because, you don't have a lot of guards who take it to the basket kind of like he does. I don't think he goes that high. But I really think, and this mock draft has Keegan Murray going number 9, which I think is crazy. I think this kid could be really, really good. And he's kind of my dark horse. This kid could end up being where we're like, wow, like how did he fall? You know what I mean?
I mean, and if you look at it too, like Keegan Murray, I'm sorry, who am I talking about? Johnny Davis. They have CBS, they have him going 11.
Yeah.
So really and truly, like pick 9 and pick 11, that's not that much of a difference.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like 2 picks, either or, give or take. Give me a break, Will. But,
so I liked how you put him up there because I think he's an underrated player. And they have him going 11 on the Knicks. I think that's not a bad fit necessarily either.
Yeah, and like I said, the Knicks are going to be.
They need all the help they can get.
The Knicks are like the Spurs are going to be the Spurs.
Yes.
So like the Spurs are like the Patriots. They're taking their guy.
Yep.
They do not give a damn about what anybody else says.
Yep.
And if they pan out, they're going to be like, "I told you so." Greg Pop's the genius.
Yep.
And if it doesn't pan out, whatever. They get the benefit of the doubt.
Whatever. They have some second rounder who's going to turn out to be in the Hall of Fame. So it doesn't matter.
They do. But I mean, listen. You take a look at this draft.
Yeah.
And this is kind of sad because this is the last time we're doing this down in your basement.
I know. Dude,
I know.
It's crazy.
But I mean, the final send off from the Marshfield headquarters. Will Nicholson, 57 champ. Oh,
Whoa.
I'm not giving out the address. You all know 57 though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all good.
But I mean, the one really, really good guy, the one underrated guy that we're not talking about has to be
John Bro! Peace, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back next week.